WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Channel 4.
You know, ever since I was at the Metrodome earlier this year to throw out a first ball and to give Tom Kelly some managing tips, the Twins have really taken off. And to all of you wheel watchers in the Twin Cities, we have a special message. Go, Vanna. Now stay tuned for the Twins World Series preview next.
And now, WCCO Television presents the World Series Preview.
At this hour, 26,000 Twin Cities children and their parents heading inside the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis. It is there they will watch game number 4 of the World Series on big screen TV.
But at the same time here in St. Louis, thousands of fans are heading inside Busch Stadium, and these fans will watch the real thing as the Minnesota Twins take on the St. Louis Cardinals again tonight. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special World Series preview. We are live from just outside Busch Stadium.
All right, we'd like to set the stage for you for what begins in 1 hour, game 4 of the World Series. The Twins are 1 game up on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Twins would have to win tonight and then again tomorrow night to become the world champions out of the World Series. Now, if the St. Louis Cardinals were to win either tonight or tomorrow night or both, then we all come back to the Twin Cities, to the Metrodome for Game 6 and possibly Game 7. Never happened. Never happened.
Hope not.
Now, most of the fans here are hoping for a Cardinal victory, of course, because we're here in their hometown.
Cardinal country.
That's right. But Cindy Hilger has found some people who went to great lengths to come down here to cheer on the Minnesota Twins.
Great lengths is right, Don. In fact, I'm standing here with 4 guys from North Branch. Now, they've got quite a story to tell, and so instead of me telling it, let's hear from these guys. First, give me your name if you would.
Bucky.
Bucky, what did you do this morning, if you can tell the people out back home?
Well, this morning we were driving. We left about North Branch about 1 o'clock this morning, and we drove down to come watch the Twins.
When did you decide to do this?
Yesterday after our football game.
You all go to North Branch High School, is that right?
Yeah.
And what was it? I mean, what made you decide to come down here and do this?
Well, we tried to get tickets for the first 2 games. We weren't able to, so we decided to come down here and watch them down here in St. Louis.
Maybe you can tell me what your parents had to say about all this. You guys are what, in high school, juniors, seniors?
Yeah.
What do they have to say?
They were surprised.
Do they know you're here? They do now, right?
But it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So. Yeah.
What about, now you say your coach. What does your coach have to say about this?
Well, see, we had school today, but we failed to attend. But tomorrow we're planning on leaving right after the game and hopefully making school by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
What's going to happen when you get home now? I mean, do you expect your parents to come down on you at all?
My parents won't, but I don't know about the people in charge at school. I don't know what they'll do.
What do you mean by that?
Well, last time they stayed over to get tickets at the Dome. They ended up raking leaves for 3 hours, so this is a little bigger than that, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Let's talk a little bit about the game tonight. How important do you think this game is for the Twins? You think it is a pivotal game?
Yeah, I think if they win this one, they'll probably win the series at home 6 games.
You guys planning on staying around tonight, too, or you got to get back to school?
We don't have enough money in stadium.
All right, well, I hope you guys get tickets. We should say they don't have tickets yet. They've got to see if they can catch some scalpers to get some tickets. Now, Don and Pat, one thing I should say, during the break, Spuds McKenzie, the Budweiser dog, pulled up. They carried him in here, but you're not going to believe what he pulled up in, a white limousine. Now, when he comes out, we'll try to get a picture for you and show that on the Twins Extra. Back to you guys.
What a party animal.
He travels in style, doesn't he? There have been a lot of limousines pulling up here to Busch Stadium tonight, although we can't really see inside to see who's in them. Well, even though these games are being played in Minnesota, Minnesotans are keeping up with their end of the bargain. They are celebrating back home. And among these people, an old-fashioned tailgating lunch in Bloomington took place, complete with free hot dogs and some pop. The Century Manufacturing Company threw the outdoor bash for its 400 employees who are battery makers and welders. And the group even resorted to using a bed sheet to make their own Homer hanky. As we mentioned just moments ago about a World Series party taking place at the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Trish Van Pilsen is standing by there now with a report for us on how many. Somebody asked us earlier, Trish, they thought the party was last night. but they
Nope.
wanted to know how many people were there.
Well, so far there are just a few people here. It's still pretty quiet, and as you can tell, it's dark here. They're getting ready to bring the kids in. I don't suppose it's going to be quiet here for very long, because within the next hour, thousands of kids will stream in here to watch the Twins play the Cardinals and to cheer on their home team. Now, the Dome is ready, if it's possible to be ready, for 26,000 kids, and that's how many may be here. Behind me are the huge television screens the kids will be watching. I know it's tough to see because it's dark in here. They've dimmed the lights, of course, so the kids can see the screen. Now, the gates here opened at 6:30, and kids just started to arrive. The kids are carrying Homer hankies. Some of them are wearing baseball T-shirts, Twins T-shirts, and baseball uniforms. City officials decided to do this because kids, after all, are among baseball's biggest fans. But many of them have never had the opportunity to come into the Dome to experience all the noise and all the excitement, and hopefully there will be plenty of that here tonight. Now, with me are some of the fans who have come to watch the Twins. What's your name?
Eric Jurdy.
Okay. Are you excited about being here tonight?
Yeah.
Have you been following the Twins?
Yeah. I watch them every night on TV, and it's been really fun to come out here because my mom, she got the tickets and all for us just about 2 hours ago, and she had to go through a lot to get the tickets.
So you're pretty excited?
Yeah.
And who is your favorite Twins player?
Greg Igney.
And who's going to win tonight?
Twins.
All right, no question about it. All these guys are here. There'll be about 26,000 tickets, rather, were given out. They're not sure whether all of those kids will come, but they do expect to have a big crowd here. Lots of noise and lots of excitement.
All right, thank you very much, Trish. We're going to be back with more World Series preview in just a moment.
Mark Rosen will be joining us with a look at tonight's game and what it's going to take to win one.
Make do with what he's got. Reese is through the gas in the center field, but Bucket gets a great start and takes the tag.
Today's ideas, today's money-saving prices. That's Snyder's, your old corner drugstore.
Save $1.50 on the 4-pack of GE soft white light bulbs with instant rebate just $1.99. Tuffy's trash bags are specially priced. After rebate, get 2 for $4. You save $5.98. Save 25% on any Neutrogena item in stock. Choose from Snyder's large assortment.
Snyder's, the old corner drugstore for today.
Now let Wix make your living room more versatile, free. When you buy any of these room-expanding sofa sleepers for only $699.99, you get a matching $499 love seat free. Casual, contemporary, or country. The matching $499 love seat is free when you buy the sleeper for just $699.99. And no payments or finance charges till February 1988 with a Wix charge.
Wix, surprisingly Wix.
This is the Twin Cities. This is the Twin Cities' favorite store. And this is why you won't find lower prices on a Sharp half-pint microwave oven for $89 or on a wet and dry vac for $64. And we won't be undersold on a 6-piece Visions cookware set for $29.97 either. Kmart, the store that won't be undersold. That's one more reason we're America's favorite store.
Are you hesitant to buy a house in Minneapolis because of concerns about the school system? The city is on a campaign to convince realtors and buyers that the education facilities here are among the best anywhere. Tonight at 10, we'll sample their pitch. How well is the Minnesota Health Department anti-smoking campaign working? Some surprising reaction from teenagers. And do you realize how many cultural events are being moved to make way for the World Series broadcast? Those stories and more tonight on the 10 p.m. report.
Okay, so we didn't win last night. The Cardinals beat us 3-1, but it's not a scene that we want repeated tonight or ever again, for that matter.
We wanted to know what it's going to take for the Twins to win here at Busch Stadium. To do that, we've called in the man who's expert on such matters, been out on the field, talked to the people who have to play in this stadium tonight. You look like you're not chilly. Are these guys?
I can't believe you guys are wearing a coat. It's balmy out here tonight. It's perfect baseball weather. Bud Grant once said, cold is a state of mind. That's what Tom Kelly just said. Got to take them one game at a time, right? Of course, I got 4 layers of thermal underwear under this, too. Let's talk about the pitching matchup for tonight. Frank Viola for the Minnesota. One at the Dome, of course. His presence forces switch hitters like Vince Coleman and Ozzie Smith to hit from the right side where they are just not as effective. Now he'll be opposed by another lefty, Greg Matthews, a free-spirited one who shut down the NL playoffs. He was hurt about a week ago, a quadricep injury. He's now healthy with that, but he has not pitched in 10 days, and quite frankly, the Twins feel they'll be able to get to Greg Matthews. How about the keys to today's game? I can think of 3 right off the top of my head. Let's go to it. Number 1, and that is to get an early lead, and not 1-0. The Cardinals just do not have the firepower to play power comeback baseball. They like to hit in bunches, they like to steal bases in bunches, as was evidenced last night in the 7th inning. The Twins need to get on top early. Viola's control, number 2. It was pinpoint in Game 1 when the Cards do get a man on base. It's up to Viola to keep him there, and Frank does have the best move to first base among the Twins pitchers. Number 3, Kirby and Herbie. Yes, you know, the Twins have been successful because they've been hitting really from top to bottom, and everyone's been contributing. But really, the 2 guys who have slumped, if you want to call it that overall, Herbeck and Puckett, and you know what happens when these 2 guys get hot. They can carry a club. Herbeck will be facing another left-hander tonight in Matthews, but he says he's ready to go, and Puckett, of course, with a triple last night. Greg Matthews, I mentioned, is capable of stopping the Twins, but the Twins hitters who took batting practice late this afternoon, as you can see right here, feel comfortable the second time around at Busch Stadium. It does take a little bit of an adjustment. As we mentioned earlier, the cold weather probably affects the flight of the ball a lot more than the actual dimensions of this club, of the field. And the Twins don't really have to worry about hitting a lot of home runs. They just feel like they can hit in bunches. They're going to have a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup facing Matthews tonight. Tim Laudner will again be at catcher, and what a success story, Don and Pat, he has been. Laudner, the .190 hitter at the start of the season, of course, and throughout the rest of the season, has been a terror in the playoffs. And RJ, to toss it back to you, I saw a sign that will be very comforting to Frank Viola. Frank's Sweet Music Viola. It was in the stadium. I don't know if Mark Dornfield is down here, but he's the guy who originated. We also have a sign up here from one of the Twins fans saying the same thing. It's kind of a security blanket for Frank.
What is Frankie now, 17-0 with that sign in his presence?
At the Dome anyway, so let's hope it brings a little good luck down here at Busch Stadium tonight.
All right, early lead, pitcher's control, and Kirby and Herbie, as we are going to now chat with Bob Allison, the 1965 great from that pennant-winning team, as well as the World Series team. Bob, we heard what Mark said. What do you think is going to take to beat the Cardinals in Game 4?
Well, I agree with what Mark said. He's very exactly right there, that point. The main thing is it's a must-win for both ball clubs tonight. Absolutely, the Cardinals do not want to come back here to the Twin Cities down 3-1. They can't afford to come back here 3-1. The Twins need to win. It's a lot better for them to come back here with an extra game under their belt than what it was for us in 1965, because we went 3 down out there, and we had to come back here 1 game behind. We had to win that 6th game, and that's always tough to do. So the Twins want to come back here with a game under their belt on the win side out of St. Louis.
I wanted to ask you that. Is there any parallel that can be drawn here between the 65 and the 87 Twins? Because it was at that point that you won the first 2, then you lost the next one exactly like this. Psychologically, what does it do to you?
Well, it does a lot, and psychologically, you want to be 1 game up or whatever coming back to your home ballpark. And it's a lot different ball game when you can do that. Like I said, out of the 65 series, we came back here, we were 1 game down, and we had to win the 6th game, and we did. We got into that 7th game, we lost it 2-0, but by golly, we were real close to winning it, too. Took a great play by Junior Gilliam to beat us. So they find themselves in the same position. They got to come back here with 1 on the win side when they come back to the Twin Cities.
Mark alluded to Kirby and Herbie having to come through for this team, which they really haven't done now. Actually, the entire season, someone new has always picked this team up. So we really don't care who it is as long as someone picks them up.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll just take the same group that's been doing it going into tonight's game. I'll take that very same group. I like them tonight real good because they're going against a lefty, and the Twins are powerful against a left-handed pitcher. Powerful.
You told me that earlier that you felt if Viola pitches the way he did in the first game of the series, no problem.
I'll just take
You can't pitch much better than he did.
It's a cinch.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Bob Allison will be with us a bit later on following the ball game, so join us for that. Right now, we're going back to St. Louis for Don and Pat.
Thanks, Ralph. Thanks, Bob. Listen, you know, you talked about Matthews not being all that hard to hit against now, but when he performed against San Francisco in the NLCS, it was something else. He came on a surprise call and pitched very well in that game.
He pitched a great game because he found out, I think a lot of it had to do with he found out that day, actually 2 hours before game time, he was going to pitch. Like I said, he's a free spirit. He's very talented, don't get me wrong. I'm talking to Gary Gaetti this afternoon. He felt, though, that it's going to take a performance by Tudor. Not many left-handers, as Bob Allison said, have had a lot of success against the Twins. They're loaded. I talked about Herbie and Kirby. Gaetti's got fire in his eyes.
Yes, I know.
I'm telling you, this guy is ready, and I think you're going to see him being the key tonight. Excellent.
Cardinal fans put their pride in music. We're going to have that coming up and more when this World Series review continues.
Imes Dog Food asks, what would happen if dogs ran the world? Humans would have to drive with their heads out the window. All valuables would be buried in the backyard. Sniffing would replace handshakes as a formal greeting. And people would have to buy their dogs Imes Dog Food, sold only at pet stores.
Oh, this is what you...
Because the nutrition in Imes makes a healthy difference you can see and your dog can feel. Imes, special pet foods found only at special stores.
Weekends, days off, don't wanna work no more. Gonna take my time now that it's mine, and I don't wanna be where there's no Coca-Cola. This is the life, these are the real things, and you're the heart of it. Every day, in every way, Coca-Cola's a part of your life. Oh, when Coca-Cola's a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling.
What are you in for?
I worked in government. How about you?
Wall Street.
These days, everywhere you turn, honesty isn't necessarily the best policy.
What are you in for?
Tune-ups. At Sparks Tune-Up Centers, we actually believe honesty still pays. So, we tell you exactly what our tune-up includes, then we do it. With brand-name parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and a warranty. Sparks. An honest tune-up at an honest price.
Once, glasses took the life out of your look. Now, they make it bold. Bolder. Boldest. Benson Optical. For every look of your life.
Buy one pair of glasses and save 30% on your second pair. 30% off, now at Benson's.
We're back outside of Busch Stadium here in St. Louis, Missouri, where Game 4 of the World Series is about to begin. The batting practice cages have come down. Same thing that they used at the Dome. They brought some high school bands to be the performing teams here, bands rather. And we also noticed that the Cardinal fans that are streaming in here, all wearing red, are fairly confident that they're going to be the winners in tonight's game.
Well, they seem to be. It seems last night's victory breathed some new life into these Cardinal fans. And as the song says, it ain't over till it's over.
Be over with, but after last night, I think we pull it out.
It's going to be awful tough for them, but they might be able to do it.
Well, everything's turned to music now, and I guess that, well, that's not too bad. They've got some songs down here. We heard Chuck Berry out here on the mall just a moment.
It wasn't as rocking, though, in Busch Stadium as it was in Metrodome.
No. And Gary Gaetti was on MTV last week, too.
That's right.
Baseball is music. For a lot of us on this trip, this is the first time we've visited the new building that Gussie Busch has built, but one member of our crew that we lugged down here is actually a veteran of this new Busch Stadium. She offers her thoughts on the World Series playground.
This is Busch Stadium. I've been in this ballpark a lot of times. My dad used to bring me here as a kid to watch the Cardinals. But to be honest with you, I was a lot more concerned with how many hot dogs I was going to score than how many home runs the Redbird pitched. And the organ music to me was a lot more exciting than the stolen bases. I remember people talking about Stan Musial, and I knew he was a good player. That's about all I knew. But what I do vividly remember is how much fun I used to have here and how much excitement there seemed to be before all the games, even though I really didn't understand it then. And little did I know that so many years later I'd be back in Busch Stadium rooting in a World Series game for the Minnesota Twins. Well, I know there are people who will tell you you can't go home again, but I'm here to prove them wrong. I know the players now. I can even tell you some of their batting averages, and to be honest with you, I'd take a Minnesota home run tonight over any hot dog. So you can go home again. And when the Minnesota Twins win the World Series here, it's going to be better than anything I remember in Busch Stadium as a kid. We'll be back with more of our World Series preview in just a moment.
Welcome aboard Midway Airlines, and a special welcome to a sports legend on board today. A national hero, a great humanitarian. Welcome aboard, Coach Ray Meyer.
Hi, Coach. Hi, Coach. The Midway spirit is spreading.
Midway, our spirit will lift you.
Thanks. I got a Ray Meyer.
Terrific.
You know, there's so many tasty ways to have oatmeal. Now you can have a different flavor every day of the week. But try telling that to her. She doesn't want to hear about maple and brown sugar and apples and cinnamon and blueberry and strawberry and banana, do ya? She eats peaches and cream oatmeal every blessed morning, don't you? You see, to me, it's the right thing to do. To her, it's the tasty way to do it. Quaker instant oatmeal. It's the right thing to do.
Forgot to add the softener sheets.
If only she knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo, because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Look, these muddy sweatshirts came out clean, but Solo's clean is so soft, it's fluffed up higher.
Did I miss it?
You missed it. Next time, get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and I just committed the cardinal sin of grocery shopping. I went shopping hungry. Boy, isn't it amazing how a list of 11 items could multiply into all this? Well, at least I shop at the country store. With their low prices and double coupons, this whole thing becomes a minor setback rather than total economic collapse. Country stores, they're looking better all the time.
You're not eating out of the bag, are you, Mom? Well, we welcome you back to our special World Series preview program. We are located just outside Busch Stadium, live from St. Louis. Boy, it was interesting this morning to wake up and read the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and look what we found. A full-page ad, World Champs, forget it, St. Louis. It's just not in the cards. Can you imagine how the people well, they're booing now. Can you hear?
Says,
Can you
good
imagine
luck,
how they
twins.
felt? There you go.
St. Paul Pioneer Press Dispatch.
And the Minneapolis Star and Tribune also put a full-page ad in the paper as well.
Great spirit.
It just got lost in the trailer somehow, that one in particular. Well, there's no doubt a lot of people are wagering on the outcome of this World Series, and when it's over, a lot of money, as you know, is going to change hands as a result. For a group of students in Fridley betting against a group of students in St. Louis, though, the outcome could pay off big. Colleen Needles has the story.
Go! Twins! Win! We're gonna win. Let's be the Twins!
The rivalry between the St. Louis Cardinals and Minnesota Twins has gone beyond the playing field and into the elementary schools.
We received a telephone call from a kindergarten teacher in St. Louis who knows me, and she said, how about a World Series challenge?
Victor Kaufman, principal of North Park Elementary in Fridley, accepted the Cardinal challenge with total commitment.
We're accepting a World Series challenge, and we call it winner consequences instead. And if the Twins win, they're going to send us some pencils. If the Cards win, we're going to send in some pencils.
Look at the Cardinal statistics. They are great. Look these letters over and respond to them.
Thanks to World Series fever, these students have taken the challenge and used it to create a friendly rivalry between the two schools.
Dear Cougars, can anyone play baseball in St. Louis? A loyal Twins fan, Lori Hetze.
The Twin outfielders have no problem, probably because the opposing teams like the Cardinals can't hit the ball that far.
We are the best. You can't beat us. I will be sure. Surprised if you do.
The students are enjoying this series challenge, but that's not to say the adults can't get in on the act.
I'm also going to send a T-shirt to the principal and ask him to wear it a week when the Twins win the series.
Holly Needles, WCCO Television News.
And we're going to be back to wrap up the World Series preview in just a moment.
At MedCenter's health plan, we cover you for routine physicals. We cover you for visits to the doctor's office. We cover you for hospital stays and much, much more. While some other plans, maybe even your plan, try to get by with much, much less. MedCenter's health plan. Your coverage better be this good.
You know, this is Walt Disney World. But so is this. And this. Walt Disney World, a vacation within a vacation. It's the world's greatest resort.
This is the year to see the world, Walt Disney World.
Try out a color, test a treatment, sample a fragrance, all in Estee Lauder's gift to you, filled with makeup, fragrance, and treatment products, including age-controlling cream and pressed satin eyeshadow in a compact. It's your bonus with any Estee Lauder purchase of $10 or more. So try it, test it, sample it, and be right at home with Estee Lauder. This Estee Lauder gift is yours through October 24th at Dayton's Cosmetics.
Ike and Tony make a big bust.
Got a homicide, McManus.
Open and shut.
Yeah, who'd you kill?
But will it be the big one that got away? The oldest rookie. Then Debbie Reynolds is a cop.
Go ahead. Make my old age.
And she has a lot in common with her partner.
Mom.
They take on everything from City Hall to city streets.
Making progress.
Well, show business is my life.
Sadie and Son, tonight at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Well, we do know that the Twin Cities are planning celebration, a big celebration for the Minnesota Twins, and they plan to do this win or lose.
That's right, big parade. The St. Paul City Council met today and threw around a few ideas. One of the ideas was to close down all of Interstate 94 in between Minneapolis and St. Paul to run the parade straight down the interstate. Another idea, probably a better one, was to close down University Avenue that connects the two. Hey, before we say goodbye, we wanted to ask you to be sure to join us later on tonight after the 10 p.m. report, after the game is over, for our Twins Extra program. We're going to be bringing you reviews, highlights, interviews from the locker room, everything that is happening down here in St. Louis at Game 4 of the World Series.
And the game is just about to get underway. Have already gone in. This is a tradition here at Wick Stadium where Augie Bush rides in with the Clydesdales and Spuds McKenzie on top of the truck. And so everybody's ready for the game. We hope to get in as well, and we'll be back to tell you all about it later tonight. Good night, everyone.
If you're trying to lose a few pounds and butter is out, you're gonna love this.
Molly McButter.
Now you can shake on the taste of butter for just 4 calories.
Molly McButter.
New Molly McButter natural butter flavor sprinkles. The taste of real butter with only 4 calories per serving. A very wholesome, 100% natural 4 little calories. So indulge yourself.
Molly McButter.
You've got Molly now.
Premature birth. It can break your heart. That's why 2 years ago, Group Health started the first preterm birth program in Minnesota. And it works. Today, Group Health's premature birth rate is nearly 50% lower than the state average. Healthier babies, healthier mothers. Just what you'd expect from Group Health. Group Health, quality health care for life.
The best teams, the best players, the best action. They all add up to the 1987 World Series between the Cardinals and the Twins. Tonight, following the game, turn to Mark Rosen and the Channel 4 sports team for the complete post-game story. Find out what happened on the field from the men who made it happen on Twins Extra. A special edition tonight after the World Series on Channel 4.
Hey, pal, you gonna be like me when you grow up?
Yeah, my sisters are so horrible.
Presenting Surf detergent, now in powder. Unlike detergents that cover up odors, Surf powder removes dirt and odors.
Looks good.
Looks good.
Smells good.
Smells good.
Tastes good.
Tastes good.
Now in liquid and powder, Surf removes dirt and odors.
Best of luck in the World Series.